And we are live. We got another edition of Realistic Live coming at you. We got a whole bunch of really cool stuff, including a very big topic, the disappearing of the steelhead, and they're going to be on the endangered list. So hang with me. We'll be right back. And Mary Ho Ho, it's Scott from another edition of Realistic Live, and we are sitting at the corner of the North Pole, and I'm going to hide that little... Oh, I'm getting feedback from the corner here. So lots to talk about today. We're going to bring in Scotty right away so we can talk about some of the steelhead stuff that I have planned. We have the lodge owners from Wolf Lake Wilderness Lodge that are going to be joining us later. So let's bring in Scotty and see how Scotty is. Hello, Mr. Scotty.
Yeah, baby. How we doing, Scott?
We are fantastic. I was just going to bring in and do a quick news report here while you were here to see what you know about it, and maybe you got some input on it.
Well, you know, our other ambassador out in your province, Cliff Moores, has certainly kept me up to date with the state of your fishery. And when it comes to salmon, I would say that the majority of the issues, or at least the problems that have arisen for your salmon fishery, are alarming. And now I'm hearing that your steelhead run is also in jeopardy. I don't even. I can't believe it. Like, you've had such an abundance of steelhead salmon for many, many years, and to think that it's on the brink of extinction is hard to fathom.
Yeah, and it's quite incredible. I've got a whole bunch of reports that I was poring over for the last couple of weeks, and it occurred to me while I was reading them that they had a lot in common from down in the Puget Sound and the Columbia River returns, our Thompson River steelhead, and they all had something in common, and they all seem to hang out and live in the same area in the ocean. And I think obviously each river is going to have other issues going on. However, one of the big things that they're talking about is they're not being able to survive the ocean. And that's the same problem we're seeing with the salmon. And they can blame the rivers and the types of fishing until they're blue in the face. However, one of the things that's happening is they're not making it past juvenile state in the ocean. And there's a report that came out here, and I believe I left a link at the beginning of this page of the comments. And if you want to go and have a read on some of the places that I got some of this information, it's posted at the first comment. So please do have a look and find out what's happening. If this is affecting you, if you're anywhere as a fisherman, this should be important to everybody. We're losing 77% in the ocean over the last 12 years based on what we used to get in 1980s and such. And now we're down to something like a number of 50 that's returning to the Thompson River, where we used to get 2,000-3,000 just 15 years ago. They've actually closed. I'm going to pull up my sheet because I can never remember how to say these names. So over in the Puget area, the Snohomish River, the Skykomish River. I know I said it wrong, you guys, and I'm sorry. The Snoqualmie, which I can never say even when I say it right, I think. The Wallace Rivers and the Toko Creek, they've all been closed. And that's even for the for the hatchery fish, which is what it's always been open for, because they're having such low returns of steelhead that they can't even get enough brood stock for their hatcheries. And so now they're closed until further notice. And the Thompson River is at a number where they would register it as beyond a species in danger. It's on a species critical list. So if we lose 10 more steelhead in the Thompson River area, that is on the border endangered list. So what do we got to do to look at this? There's all kinds of people who've jumped on board, and one of our favorite ambassadors, which is a Star Trek reference from my camera guy over here, William Shatner, has been all over this. And live long and prosper. I don't know.
He never says that.
No, he doesn't. But I'm saying it to him.
Oh,
because I'm a little bit Ewok or whatever that Spock guy is. I'm doing it just to get us go. So he's been all over. He's been all over it, and he's written letters and some really cool articles actually that are linked in the article that I posted on my page, giving the government the old, we better get going or something seriously is going to happen here. There's just so many reports, and I can't even go over them all. But that link that I posted is a great place for that, all that information. So I highly recommend the read. It shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes if you kind of care, and about 4 hours to the rest of your life if you really do, which is what's happened to me. It seemed to have really stabbed me, because the steelhead, they're not like numbers like the salmon used to be, where the salmon would come up in 50 or 100,000. Steelhead have never been that. And, you know, there's a reason that it's like a fish of 1,000 casts, because there's not as many in a river as there would be a salmon in a salmon run. So 2,000 steelhead run in the Thompson River area would be a pretty big number of steelhead for that river area. And to see it down to 50 or less is actually heart-wrenching. Are you guys experiencing any of that up in your areas? But I don't
know. And you know,
you're all landlocked.
Yeah, the part that's so troubling is, I mean, let's be honest, the majority of our salmon fishery, I would have to say all of it, came from the BC coast. So, you know, what we have in our Great Lakes is a testament to how healthy your fishery was back then, because, of course, we had an alewife problem in our Great Lakes that the only resolve that we could think of at the time was, of course, introducing salmon. And I mean, they're eating machines, and of course, they will do whatever they can to keep a population of forage down to a manageable size. But you know, our fishery is thriving. A lot of work is done from hatcheries and volunteers, but still, it's a thriving fishery. So to hear that it's not the same as it was when we first introduced the salmon to our Great Lakes, as your fishery is now, is very troubling, Scott. I had no idea it was this bad.
And you know, the thing about the steelhead is they're going to drop off the page and onto the extinct board long before the salmon. And you know, how many hatcheries are there? You know, because people aren't using salmon as a food fish or steelhead as a food fish, and you know, it's not commercially farmed in a lot of areas, so there's no real setup for them. I mean, there's a few main rivers that actually have fantastic steelhead hatcheries, and one of the big ones is down in the Smokeline area there, and that's one of the reasons they closed it. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't for a few, and I mean a very small few, we would have no hatcheries whatsoever, and they need to be increased. And before we even get into increasing it, which was working at the time, we need to find out why these juveniles aren't making it back to the river.
So some people have said, Scott, that water temperature has had a lot to do with it. The La Nina currents have affected fish migration as well. I mean, forest fires out in your province, 2 years ago, I'm sure made a lot of the land barren, which won't absorb a lot of the heat from the sun. And of course, it's getting filtered into the rivers. I'm sure there's a million variables that we could sit here and talk about all night, but I'm sure some of this has an effect on what's going on, or at least is attributed to what's going on, I would assume.
Every one of those things you mentioned is a small factor, and when they all add together, that's a bigger footprint. Mm-hmm. And the thing about the water temperatures in El Nino is one of the things I read was the fish are having to follow the temperatures that they prefer out further now in some cases, and then now they're becoming prey for stuff that they wouldn't have to normally fend against, like tuna. Mm-hmm. And I think there was some sharks on the list as well too. But they, you know, so now they're in an area that there's even more reasons for them to get gobbled up. The sea lions and the seals, and I'm sorry that they're so cute and white when they're born, you people, and I say that the people who love the seals, they are devastating the juvenile population. They're doing counts, and I don't know if you've noticed on the news, they talk about it all the time, the explosion of seals and sea lions that have moved into the coast, and they're absolutely killing the industry. So I think before we even get any further, we need to figure out what we can do about those.
Wow.
And also, why wouldn't they? Because one of the biggest initiatives they have is the whales. They're more concerned about the whales than the salmon, but the whales live on the salmon. So why couldn't we take care of the seals and figure out what we need to do? I'm not talking about a machine gun slaughter or anything like that. I'm just thinking we need to figure out, can we desex them? Can we feed them saltpeter? Can we let them watch SpongeBob until they blue in the face? I don't know what the actual answer is, but I think we need to look at keeping their population down somehow.
Well, obviously it all starts with the fish, and since you don't have good returns, they're very hard to culture. I know a lot of people have said that they'd like to see a hatchery that's active and running on every major tributary on your coast, that would either be run by volunteers or possibly by First Nations if there was a cooperative effort that was available with a First Nations group. But yeah, I mean, dude, I don't even know where to start.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Well, that's the beautiful thing here in Ontario. I don't want to bring up bad blood that's gone on in the past, because really at the end of the day, it's about moving forward. And here in Ontario, I am thrilled to hear of some of the First Nation groups that have walleye hatcheries and are doing their best to supplement the walleye stocking. And I mean, let's face it, they have the ability to do so because nothing governs them to stop them. So, they can, this is the route. And I know some of our biologists wouldn't like me saying it, but this might be the route for us to see an impact on our fisheries, going the First Nations route, because really nothing governs them. However, there is a double edge to that sword, that if they aren't governed, sometimes they may not do any good for a fishery, or they may be doing harm to a fishery. And of course, we need the biology to go along with it. So when I say cooperative, it would be nice to see them in bed together, not necessarily in that way, but in bed together when it came to making good, sound decisions. But dude, at the end of the day, I mean, sure, we want to see the killer whales. Yeah, we'd like to see a certain amount of sea lions eradicated for the sake of bringing the fish back. But if there's no returns in the rivers enough anyway to do any culturing, I don't know. I don't know what to do at that point.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure that there could be some collaborative work done there, because I mean, at the end of the day, they are going to get paid in food fish when the stocks return. So, at the end of the day, it's win-win for everybody, and to have them manage it when they are the stewards of the land, and they understand the fish and what needs to be done. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be a fantastic cooperative.
Now, I just had a thought, Scott, and wouldn't it be fascinating to find out that, if there was no resolve, if we were at an impasse, that suddenly Ontario waters and our salmon run fishery were to help the West Coast as they helped our Great Lakes. If we were to somehow see fertilized eggs get transported, whether they be steelhead or different species of salmon, back to BC to imprint in your rivers, that'd be pretty cool.
It'd be neat that you guys were holding on to that gene pool for us.
Yeah.
And maybe it was foreshadowing for for us, but I gave the join code to the wrong Todd, and I was wondering why it was taking him so long. So I just looked back and I'm like, oh boy. So he sent me a message. He's like, yeah, we're ready whenever you are. So I guess that is going to happen anytime soon. I don't know if you guys have had a look at this, but you really need to have a look at their new website. Holy moly. It launched last night. And Steve asked if they were stocking the tributaries or just the landlocked lakes. Well, it's not even the landlocked lakes at all that they're stocking, Steve. These are just the migratory steelhead that actually return to the ocean twice a year, and then they pretty much live there. And well, not twice a year. There's two runs. There's a winter and a summer run, and they return to spawn into the tributaries. But that's where we get our fishing from, and I haven't gone out targeting steelhead in so long because it's become literally hard to catch steelhead, and I don't feel like fishing shoulder to shoulder with 500 people after 2 steelhead when they're already at risk. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I want to get out and get some steelhead and put it on the camera for you guys, but I don't want to make it worse. So we have a couple people who've just joined us here, so I'm going to pop them in. And if you guys have more comments about it, please ask, because this is so important to everybody. And if you have any information, or if I got anything wrong, please correct me on my posts. I'm doing the best I can with whatever research I can, and I don't have my actual book with me. So I would love to learn more. So if you know more about it, please let me know, and then we can all know, and we can all help out and do our part at getting this, figuring something out. But we need our voices heard. So that said, I have in this bottom little corner here 2 people that they're just getting dressed. So I'll just wait a second. Oh, here they are. They're all dressed now. Hey guys, how you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so it's okay to answer when I talk then.
Okay, all's good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Look, I'm up at the North Pole. I just met with Santa. He said I'm still on the good list, sorta. So we'll see how it looks out under the tree. How about you guys?
All is good. Weather's warm. Things are looking up.
Looking up? What do you want warm for? I can't stand on the ice then.
Well, at least it's not minus 45 with the wind chill today like it has been recently for the past couple days.
Okay, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, I don't need any of that. No, thanks. And Scotty's with us today. He's going to hang out for a while. And so what brings you guys to this neighborhood today?
Well, we come to see what was new with you fellas.
Just a surprise visit, hang out. Wow.
Hang out. Maybe some fishing tales to be told.
There is a couple of those for sure, and most of them come from Scotty.
I was going to say this is a tease for me. What seeing Todd like this every other Wednesday is just a tease of what is soon to come, and unfortunately, it can't come fast enough. But the trip to Wolf Lake Lodge is something that I go to bed thinking about each and every night, because it is going to be an experience that I'm sure these eyes will never see again.
Yeah, you'll see it again. We're going to be hooked, buddy. I have no doubt. And in the corner here, because it's rotating pictures quite nicely, I thought I'd bring up your ultra new, ultra fresh 10 out of 10 website, sir. That is incredible. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's looking good. Scott over at Smart Creative did an awesome job building this new website for us. It's really come together well.
Those Scott fellas, they're genius.
I know.
There's a lot of Scots out there. I'm telling you, I'm meeting a lot more of you fellas lately.
This is just a side topic, but when you say the name Scott backwards, it means talks. So
here we are.
So there's that.
So there's that. I didn't even plan that, but this website is incredible. It flows so nicely that anybody just whipping around can come in and find information they're looking for. Some really nice pictures. I highly recommend even people who have been talking about Wolf Lake for a little while to go and have a look at this website. It's so beautiful. I think I would trade my Cadillac for this website. Say the name, Scott. It's a Coupe de Ville, so but there's that. So yeah, this thing is super easy to flow, and it's got all the information you need in here about the accommodations and boats to tackle, dining. So yeah, you guys definitely should jump in there and have a look at this. And I'm just going to let this flow for a second because I keep clicking on the wrong one because the pictures rotate so nice.
And here we are again.
Yeah, something's happened.
So while he's not here, again, Todd, we'll have to go over. I'll call you later. I'll give you a ding. Some of those, secret places that you were telling me about that you don't want Scott to know. we'll have to discuss that in the new year.
Whoa!
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoa! What? I don't know. I think it was the Aurora Borealis electrical something. I don't know what was happening there, but hey, here I am again. Whoa, another entrance. Oh, ho, ho. So, what was I going to ask? See, it was right there, and then kapoosh. Oh, so the setup for this new website, you obviously have way more control on it than the other site you had now.
Absolutely.
So who's in charge of keeping this up to date now? Are we looking at them?
Well, yes and no, I guess. I'm going to need some assistance along the way. I'm guessing I'm a little bit of a tech tard, so.
Hey, did you steal my word? And so who's sitting there with you? Did we introduce while I was exploded, or?
No, not yet. This is my helping hand and oldest son, Denton. Hey.
Denton!
Right on. Yeah, baby.
You're going to be at the lodge then, I'm assuming, when we come by?
Yeah, I kind of double as a dock boy when I'm down there for the summers.
Nice. So you get some fishing in too, then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, definitely.
And you like fishing?
Oh yeah, definitely. Last summer we were up there. There was a few weeks where we were just trying to do some maintenance and get everything set up. And Dad and I would take off there bright and early out in the morning and go do some fishing. But it was always hard to come back in to try and go stay in the cabins after out fishing.
Yeah.
I wish my dad bought a cabin up in the Yukon to take me fishing.
No complaints here for sure.
Just buy a cabin, Dad, and we'll go fishing. Yeah, we'll run it like a lodge. So do you come up then at the same time, or do you come up earlier to get started, or how's that work for you?
This summer we'll be going up there together, him and I, and getting everything set up right from the get-go.
And do you drive up?
Yeah,
we're going to drive up. We'll have a bunch of gear to take with us, supplies, some new windows, some new doors. We'll have a trailer load of stuff. So
you're going to stop in Prince George on the way through for a coffee or an overnighter, or what?
Well, I would if we went that direction, but we kind of take off to the north there a little bit and head up through Fort St. John.
Oh, right. Sure. You take the Alaska Highway right from Grand Prairie.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That makes sense. It's way more beautiful that way.
Oh, it's
No, it totally is. Once you get past Fort St. John there, it's really pretty. Like, it's just amazing. But up until then, it's just oil town, right? It's just bustly oil town. But once you get past Fort St. John and the Fort Nelson, it's incredible. So, Denton, when was the first time you went up to the Yukon?
This summer, actually.
Wow.
I spent 6 days as a guest there before I started being an employee. And yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure.
6 years as a guest?
6 days.
Oh, 6 days.
Yeah, went up there right at the beginning of the season. Me and a buddy went up there together, and they treated us like guests when we were first up there. It's a lot of fun.
When you say they, you mean your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Did they charge you in full?
Got a slight discount. But
yeah,
they're hard to bargain
with. Have a family discount. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was your first impressions of the Yukon?
Oh, it was unreal. I had never been anywhere that was even close to as secluded as we were up there. Like, I was up there for 6 weeks this summer, and you would maybe hear a float plane every now and again, and other than that, you would see the pilot every week or two, and that was it. Other than that, there was no sign of other people anywhere. And that was really cool to be that away from everything.
That is
yeah.
Now, would you say that it wouldn't be intimidating for a young angler, from a young angler's perspective? Like, if a young angler was going up with his dad to Wolf Lake, would this be like, oh, I think I'm out of my element? Is it very user friendly and forgiving?
Yeah, like, it's just one lake and it's pretty wide open. There's only one island on the lake, so you're not going to get lost anywhere. Plus, there's a fair amount of landmarks so that you can always kind of know where you are relative to where the lodge is. And so you're never going to be too far away from the lodge there.
And from what I understand, the nightlight never gets shut off. So
Yeah, that's nice too, for sure.
That the one lake that Scotty and I were at recently, if you didn't have a guide, you'd be lost.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
There was a couple times I was coming back going, we're going the wrong way. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I'd have went that way and we would have been somewhere else.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And it's like really hard with all the channels and connecting lakes and overflows. It was really confusing. But yeah, if it's that easy, especially if it's only 5 minutes, you could probably yell to the lodge.
Just about, yeah. We can hear the dogs barking out there in the morning when the wind's calmed right down and we're out fishing. If the dogs are in camp 2 miles away, we can hear them barking.
Here's a suggestion for Scotty and I's boat so that we can walkie-talkie back and have lunch delivered to the boat.
I actually did that last summer.
No way.
I had a group of 3 fellas from the Chicago area that they wanted to spend that day out fishing and they didn't want to come back for lunch for no how. But Sherry was making a trout chowder and they just had to have it. So I'm like, well, you stay fishing and I'll deliver it. So I went out and found them on the lake, took them their hot thermos of soup, and they were as happy as could be.
Wow. Okay, is everybody listening to that? Incredible.
No kidding.
Now that's a family-run lodge right there, right? If I didn't say so myself. Yeah, I did say so myself. So if I didn't, yeah, well, that's incredible. And I think in the last week I've dreamt about Wolf River shore lunch about 100 times. So I'm getting fatter while I'm sleeping. So that's not cool. Well, I've been working on some graphics and stuff for you guys, and so I've been staring at a lot of pictures. So it's like until I go to bed at 2:00 in the morning, and I'm just like thinking about the lodge a lot. So yeah, that's all I think about when I'm falling asleep is the lodge and the food. You're still fishing, right? Like I think there's still.
We'll get a little bit of fishing in after the eating, I guess, and relaxing.
Were you guys able to listen in when I accidentally sent your link to the wrong Todd about
Tell that story.
Yeah.
Come on.
I did. I totally sent your link to join to a wrong Todd, and I apologize. So.
I was waiting for you, wondering, what's going on?
Well, I did. I jumped in, and I'm like, where's Todd? He totally said he was ready. And then I looked, and I said, oh, why did I send it to him? And then I saw yours. Yeah, we're ready. And I'm like, oh. I'm sorry about that. Were you able to watch the stream when it started, or?
Well, I cut in. You guys were probably about 5 minutes in when we got on.
Are you familiar with the steelhead story and the decline and what's been going on?
Just vaguely.
I don't know if there's actually steelhead in the Wolf River.
Don't believe so.
The river that flows out of Teslin. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. I forgot the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. I believe there's a small steelhead run there too, but I imagine, or used to be, I imagine it's probably done for because it was a very small run and it only came up about 150 kilometers from the ocean. So, but yeah, there's been such a huge decline in the steelhead that we're getting within a few steelhead of the extinction list. So, and there's quite a few tributaries now that I haven't seen steelhead in a long time. And I think it's been too late for them. They're talking about salmon, and they've kind of left the poor little steelhead because they're not, a sustenance food for half the world. So it's not a big name, big word being passed around. So, but anyway, I just thought I would poke that in again for those people who are jumping in here late. And bring that up again because that's super important. All our fisheries are important, and we can't just let them go to the wayside like that.
Exactly. And Scott, do they have any remedies? Have they got any solutions on how they're going to rectify this? Or
I think they're going to drain the ocean and start again.
Well, what? To be honest, in some cases it would get rid of all the plastic, so it's not such a bad idea. But yeah,
I'm going to throw out the word that every politician has thrown out in the last 4 years. We were conducting a study.
A study. Mm-hmm.
The studies have been done. The fish are dying. Like, what more study do you need? And at the end of the studies, they don't give us any answers to why. They just say, yep, the fish are dying. And I think I read about 15 reports in the last 2 weeks that were, and they're quite detailed, some 40, 45 pages of studies. And I was at the end of the studies going, what did they study? You could have paid me to tell you the fish were missing.
Is there any truth that there was a bit of a cover-up going on too when it came to migrating salmon, which also may have a hand in what's going on with your steelhead in regards to the cage culture and the effects of it? I heard that the initial analysis wasn't anywhere near what was actually going on and how toxic. Yeah.
I decline to answer.
Yes. Okay. So
I'm pulling an Ollie North.
Plead the fifth.
I'll have to check my paper. Get back to you.
Well,
I don't have an answer for you exactly. Nor would I try and make one up like I normally would. But I know that there has been fingers pointed.
Yeah.
So that's all I can give you. I'll actually send you a couple of reports that would probably interest you if you find time to read.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can you read in your sleep, Scotty?
It is scary stuff, Scott. At the end of the day, our fisheries are so fragile, as we're finding out. And, when we have a hand in it, like we are to a certain degree with what's going on with the salmon and the steelhead, it's hard to sit back and not do anything. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm sure you feel compelled to help out or do something to fix it. But
I need to know what I can do. That's the problem. And I think I'm in the seat of a lot of people. What can I do? Besides, I have a platform here that I can help educate other people and get other people involved. But involved in what? Unless we can call Greta and have her come down and do a seminar for us out in front of the legislative, I don't know what else we could possibly do.
No, it's true. It's true. But as I said, at the end of the day, Ontario's got lots of steelhead for you. So if you ever need them,
can you ship them in a bucket? we are one landslide, one bad river catastrophe away from losing. And you saw the Fraser River landslide, what it did to the salmon runs, and they kept taking them up, and they go back down the river because they were exhausted, and they went through the checkpoint dozens of times. And I doubt that we didn't get any up to Prince George. And normally we have not a lot, but we do have some salmon up here, and our hatchery had to go elsewhere to get salmon. So we're just one catastrophe away from losing massive rivers. And you guys in Saskatchewan, you guys had a derailment of oil and stuff recently.
Yes.
And what systems did that affect over there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that affected any water systems or not, or if that was more in the prairies, away from the lakes and stuff. But they had a major spill there with a huge fire that burnt for a couple days, I believe. It was quite the catastrophe.
Every major news for the next 2 days, and it did not appear on any of them. I had to go get the information online. I was like, this has got to be on the news. Not
really
out here. I mean, okay, so it's only Saskatchewan. But hello, I'm kidding with the Saskatchewan. It's like a massive deal, and it just 74-kilometer-an-hour train derails full of oil and burns for days, and it didn't make the news.
Yes. I think there was like 16 cars.
Made the news, another Surrey stabbing made the news. And so it just really confuses me why we're not getting the information that we should be getting as a whole, as a community. And thank goodness for the internet for some things, or we get nothing.
Yeah, true enough.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next on you guys' list for the Wolf Lake? You got seminars and stuff coming up. You got trade shows.
Yeah, Wolf Lake here right away. The 9th of Chicago, 9th of January, we will be in Chicago.
I like the 9th of Chicago.
Yeah, we're there from the 9th through the 11th, hanging out in the area for a couple days. And then we're off to Green Bay for the following weekend for another All Canada show, another 4-day event.
Wow.
So who all goes to that?
Sherry and I will be attending those this time. And then hopefully in the future, Denton or Brody, my other son, have time to join me with these.
That's cool.
In the meantime, Scott, sounds like there's a house party
Den's putting it on. Is that
On
true?
my way.
That's funny. And so these shows, are they primarily sportsmen for lodges and that kind of idea, or is it just a regular trade show with boats and other stuff?
With the All Canada show, it's very specific. It's all Canadian lodges, and I want to say it's probably 80% on the fishing side, with another 20% of them having hunting and fishing options. So it's strictly it's all Canadian businesses, outfitters, etc., trying to attract some American clientele into Canada.
And I'm sure it's very, but roughly, like from these shows, these trade shows, how many bookings do you normally get on average?
Last year out of Chicago, we did well, for that being, Wolf Lake Lodge has had presentation in Chicago for a few years, but last year it was our, Sherry and I just took over the business, and I believe we had 11 people come that booked out of the Chicago show. So it worked well. It's really good advertising there.
Because when I see the trade shows and I see some of you outfitters, I sit back and I see, at times you're talking to people, and I always wonder, like, do people actually book trips? And there's a lot of effort that goes into going to these trade shows. There's obviously a lot of money involved as well. So it's nice to hear that, the industry is returning the favor and doing some bookings and helping out some brothers and sisters.
Yes, absolutely. It's great. Everybody spends a lot of time preparing and setting up for these types of events and, takedown, traveling, and it's all expense. So it's really nice when we get some positive feedback from these people coming through the doors to check out everybody's displays, etc. That's what's nice about the All Canada show. It is strictly Canadian lodges. So for anybody looking to take a Canadian trip, these shows are the place to go. They're not trying to sell boats. They're selling fishing and hunting trips in Canada.
Wow.
I didn't even know that you did that. Did you, Scotty?
Really? Yeah, they hold 3 major events: Chicago, Green Bay, and I'm trying to think of the pardon?
Go Packers.
And I'm trying to think of the other one. It's right between Chicago and Green Bay on the water there.
St. Paul?
Nope. Darn, I can't think of the name right at the moment. I'd have to look it up to see where the other one is, but it's actually it's the very first one in January. I think it's on the 3rd, 4th, 5th of January.
Okay. Yeah, no, but as I said, it's great. If you are watching and you're anywhere close to where Wolf Lake and the Collins family are going to be, by all means, go and, do a shout out and make them feel that the trip down to these shows is all worthwhile.
I was going to ask, how, for the people who don't get a chance to get down to these shows, how do you feel about doing an open forum after the New Year's sometime, where we can have the clients and viewers come in and ask questions right online?
Great idea.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Okay, I'll see if I can promote that up a little bit for sometime in January, whatever. So if you guys are watching and you want to, have a little chat and look eye to eye and ask your question, and then let's do that. I'd love to see that.
Absolutely.
Love to see the viewer support and then get some more people chatting. Hey, we got a couple toques we forgot to give away last, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
So why don't Scotty, you join in a little Gab fish lie or story, and I will set up this draw, and we can do a couple toque drawings for these guys, because I know there's a few people that are like, hey, weren't we supposed to do this toque drawing? I was like, we give away so much stuff, I can't even remember how much.
I feel your pain, Scott. Likewise, it's hard.
I have a whiteboard.
You'll forget it.
Keep track of who gets what and where I'm sending it and when I'm sending it. It's like, I was like, wow. My wife's seen the board and she's like, you got to stop giving stuff away. I'm like, until you notice your stuff missing, then don't worry about it. She's like, "So, where is our microwave?" I'm like, it was a grand. Okay, I'm gonna jump out of this for a second while I set that up, and you guys can have a little chat. Be back in
Right on. Well, Todd, what we should do at this point, just in case there's anybody that's new on the feed that hasn't gone before, just talk a little bit about what Wolf Lake Lodge is to any potential people who are looking to book a trip to the Yukon. I've been thinking about the Yukon, and maybe for whatever reason, it's a little intimidating because it's such a faraway place. But this is your chance to hook them. Everything that Wolf Lake Lodge has to offer, go.
All right. Well, starting off, arriving in Whitehorse, it's an international airport. So you can get to Whitehorse from anywhere in the world. From there, our float base is only 5 minutes from the international airport. You'll be greeted there by Alpine Aviation, and they will get your stuff on that plane, and you will be out to the lodge, as quickly and as soon as they can get you there. So probably within the hour of you landing in Whitehorse, roughly, we're going to have you out at the lodge, providing everything can be aligned up properly. From there, we'll take care of you as soon as you hit the dock. We'll unload your luggage. We will get you moved into your cabin. We'll start with a little meet and greet, probably a warm lunch, and then we're going to start exploring the lake. We're going to get you guys out there. Denton or myself will take you out, give you a little guided tour around the lake, maybe take you down to the river, depending on the weather conditions at that particular time. But regardless of the matter, we're going to be on the water, and you're going to be fishing probably within 2 to 3 hours of you landing in Whitehorse. So it seems like a lot, and it seems like you got a long ways to go, but it's pretty easy. Whitehorse, the international airport's fairly small. You're not going to get lost there by any means. So it's a great all-around easy trip for people.
Now, of course, some you have some newly built cabins. You have the luxury of providing a hot tub to your guests. Just list off some of the amenities that people can look forward to when they come to Wolf Lake.
So you can look forward to your own washroom showers in your own cabin. So it's private that way. A wood-fired hot tub with a wet bar right locally located beside it for your convenience. With depending on the time of the year, we're going to be in just about 24 hours of daylight, just 2 to 3 hours of dusk type light.
Yeah.
So with fishing with us, it's unlimited. If you want to fish 20 hours a day and eat and sleep for the other 4, by all means. If you want to sleep 20 hours and fish 4, that's up to you as well. There's no schedule with us. It's however anybody would like to, have their holiday. There's no pressure.
Now, also, you might want to talk about the 5-star culinary cuisine that is also there for your guests.
Oh, yes. My wife is a really good cook. And, last year we all probably put on 10, 15 pounds by being there. We had to work that off a little bit over the course of the summer. But, the food's great. 3 hot meals a day. We do shore lunches down at the river mouth while the guests are fishing. And that's awesome all in its own, just being there, being able to cook the lunch for people, watching you catch fish. You bring them up, we'll clean them, and we'll get them in the frying pan right away. It's an awesome experience.
Now, last but not least, this is the most important part. The species of fish that one of your guests will get a chance to catch. Name all the species.
Name all the species? Well, we've got lake trout, which are very plentiful. We've caught a lot of those in a day. We've got the northern pike. We've got lake and Rocky Mountain whitefish. So there's 2 species of whitefish there. We have the Arctic grayling. We have the Maria lingcod. And we also the Wolf River is also home to one of the longest salmon migrations in the world.
Incredible. Wow.
Yes, that's a pretty incredible experience. My wife and I got to experience that a little bit the year before last when we went down to the river and the salmon were in there spawning and you could see their tails flipping around in the water. It was a pretty neat experience.
Now, Barry Trout's asked, what's the most popular fish out there that you guys target? Would it be lake trout or Arctic char?
I want to say that it's the lake trout just because, the fight and, Denton and I were out quite a few mornings and we were landing, anywhere from 30 to 50 Lakers in 3 or 4 hours. And the one morning we landed 6 of them over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So, it's fishing for the lake trout.
Incredible.
It's awesome. We're not trolling. We're doing a bunch of jigging for them. So it's kind of like fishing walleye, except we're just fishing them a little deeper and the fight's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's so cool. Tony Sizanowski has asked, the Wolf Lake giveaway contest, is there a fee for the 2 winners? The answer is yes. You have to get yourself to Whitehorse. After you get yourself to Whitehorse, it's all up to our host. Todd Collins will be looking after us from Whitehorse to Wolf Lake and back.
I think it's to the lodge.
Yeah.
Is it to the lodge?
To the lodge, and we'll
Okay,
cover.
sorry. All right. Glad you stepped in there, Scott. Are there license fees that are required? Like, do you have to buy a license for the Yukon? I would imagine yes.
Yeah, it's a fishing license, but annually for a non-resident, I believe is $25 for the whole year for a non-resident.
And Tony, the flights are actually quite cheap from Ontario. We were looking at, I think it was a return for $420, and that was booking late even when Scotty came out this way last year. And it's more expensive from me to fly from BC than it is from you guys from Ontario. So
That's crazy.
it's actually a pretty good price for you guys to fly there. So you get to stop in Vancouver, and if you wanted to come up a day early or whatever, and we can have a powwow in Whitehorse or.
I gotta bring you some steelhead, Scott.
Yeah, in a bucket.
Yeah.
It's
Just
a live
thinking about
bucket.
talking about those flights for people coming from further distances. It might be a little easier if people try to get their way to Calgary rather than Vancouver. If we can get to Calgary, then we're a direct flight into Whitehorse out of Calgary, eliminating sometimes which could be a couple 3-hour layover in Vancouver. It's just a thought to keep in mind for somebody booking from the east.
The Calgary airport is fantastic too.
Yes, it is. It's easy to get around in, a little easier than Vancouver.
I am gonna pull up a random draw here for the who have liked or commented on that post. So you guys are still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't freeze up? Okay.
No.
So we're giving away, what was it, 100 hats?
Yes, at least 101.
Okay, so this first, I'm going to click on this, and I think it'll give us a whole bunch of names, but the first 2 will be the winners of your toques, right?
Sure, yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, here we go. Has anybody got a drum roll?
I was going to say,
Whoa. All right, there's one. So, okay, give us one. So I'm going to have to pick another. So Ryan Storch, I'm going to write that down because I just have to. Does anybody know Ryan Storch?
I do not.
That is a new name to our. Congratulations to Ryan. We will ask for your name, and I'll try and get hold of you and PM you so you can give me your address, and I will give it to Todd so he can ship you that beautiful hat. So when you come up to the lodge this year, you can wear it. What? So pick another winner. Here we go. Whoa!
Oh, the man.
I didn't
the
even.
legend.
I couldn't even believe he wasn't number 1.
No kidding.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
If I had my choice, it would have been Bill Maftruk first and then Tony Sizanowski second.
Bill and Tony are looking into the 649 numbers for me, Scotty. So we should get into that together.
Fantastico.
Oh my
Good.
goodness. Then we'll just live at the lodge.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
There's a cabin there with our name on it, I'm sure of it.
Well, I'm sure Denton needs a hand. He's probably going to get tired by the time we get up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be tired of shining our boat?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of work that gets done out there, and
We want
use a helping hand.
all the inside to not be shiny because it's bad on camera. The outside can be shiny.
Absolutely.
I can do that for you.
Well, maybe we should ask, how's Denton with a camera? We could use a cameraman while we're up there.
I need some more practice holding the camera, I think, but you'll probably learn.
There we go. There
I
you
like
go.
his attitude.
Right on, buddy.
Yeah, I like his attitude. Yeah, well, I've actually asked if we can go out with different times and steal each one of the family members, and that way we can ask questions about the other family members when the other family members aren't around and get some real answers. You know,
Yeah,
Keep it
that's
up with the Collins. We'll call it Keep It Up with the Collins.
that's right.
true.
Good cop, bad cop, and I'm not sure which one of us is Scotty, so we'll have to flip a coin. Yeah, that's cool. So where are we at? We're at 5:52. We should probably wrap up. You guys did a great job of explaining the essence of the lodge. I was listening in. Well, and you know, I got to tell you, just on the side note, this software, Scotty, completely crashed while you guys were doing your interview. While I was looking.
I figured it did. I saw it because it was spinning. It was trying to restore itself.
Yeah, and it completely crashed, and I dumped it and brought it back, and you guys were still streaming, and it never missed a beat online. Kudos,
Just so
stream.
you know, we heard every word you said.
Did you?
Yes,
Some of them were bad.
they were bad.
I think when I come out of the stream, you can't hear me. I don't think. Can you? No. Really?
Don't tell God.
I'm gonna be watching the back right away to find out now. I tried to keep it G-rated, but it might have went up to F-rated. I think.
There was a few in there, yeah.
Thank goodness this is well, it'll be taken off of Facebook then, I guess.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Go.
Okay, so we can get rid of not get rid of. We'll say goodbye to our esteemed guests because Scotty and I, we still got to give away some stuff for Adele.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to give away a subscription to Hook Magazine as well. So from the comments from this post.
Oh.
So if you guys have any final thoughts, you guys are off and you're going to be in all kinds of fun times here selling the lodge. I will call Chicago and have them deliver you a deep dish pizza while you're out there.
Nice. It's the best. If you've never had it, oh man, it is the best.
It's where it was started, my friend. And yeah, I don't even like pizza, but Chicago real deep dish pizza is definitely something I would do over and over.
Oh, that half-inch of cheese in there. Oh man.
I miss riding around on the side of cars with my Tommy gun too, but that's just how old I am. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys, and we probably won't speak again until the 7th because we're all going to go into an Xmas hiatus.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whichever you prefer. Happy Hanukkah.
Same to you guys.
All languages I can't speak. And have a good time at the lodge, and feel free to call me for any additional information you need about your lodge.
Will do.
I've been studying it so much. I swear I'm a guru now. Okay, guys. And Denton, it was really nice meeting you. And
Yeah,
I
nice
look
meeting
forward
you
to seeing you again on the show and also at the lodge because
for sure.
you and I and this fella, we're going to catch a couple big ones.
Oh, hopefully, yeah.
Oh, no, not hopefully. You're coming with it. The lodge isn't open at 4 a.m. We are. So we will see you then. Okay, I'm just gonna let you guys out of the stream gently, and I'm gonna chat with Scotty. Okay, you guys take care and drive safe down there, fellas.
All
Good
the
night,
best.
fellas.
See you later.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas to you guys.
Happy holidays.
I've got the new drum roll ready.
Oh, the new drum roll, Scotty.
Yeah, baby.
It wouldn't have been normal without at least one
Right.
video audio catastrophe.
Right. Absolutely.
However, it recovered so well. I'm giving this shout out to Streamlabs, which, by the way, are both from Canada and they live in Victoria. And kudos, you guys, are awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
This-
I was blown away.
and I think that's the benefit of it not being held in our computers, but
Right.
being held on their back end, and it was still up and running.
Yeah.
Wow,
Bravo.
that was yes. So way to go, you guys, at StreamYard. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's give away something for Adele. I better write this down. This was Tukes.
Yep.
I'm going to be giving away hats and things to wrong people. So much stuff to give away, Scotty. It's Christmas.
It's absolutely incredible. We did it on Monday from our raffle. At
Oh my God, you guys give away so much stuff. I was like,
I
where's
know.
my name?
I know.
I wasn't there. I get it.
But
Okay.
congratulations to Adele, who did win
Oh, yeah.
a trip out on the hard water on the Bay of Quinte with our good friend Gord Routcliffe.
That's
They've
incredible.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for Adele. I don't believe she's ever been out on the Bay of Quinte, and I don't believe she's ever held up one of those big hogs that are famed for those waters. So I'm really
Big
looking forward
greenbacks.
to it. Yeah, well, we don't have greenbacks here in Ontario like they do out in Winnipeg, but our hogs out of the Bay of Quinte, they're huge. They're big fish.
Oh, I didn't go back far enough. How big do they get?
Well, I've heard of stories of some fish that were up in the high teens. Back in the day, I wish we used to have scales when we used to take the eggs out of these fish out of the Napanee River. I hazard a guess that some of them were 15 pounds, like mid to high teens. I don't want to say that they were close to 20, but there were some massive fish back then, and they're still out there in good numbers. But a chance for Adele to catch one of those hogs and take a picture, I'm really excited for.
And you know what? Wasn't it her 50th birthday, or going to be her 50th birthday?
I think you're right. Yeah,
What?
I do.
Not
believe
that
you're
I'm
right.
trying to out your age, Adele, because you look 27.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And so that's a wicked present for a birthday. Like,
Yeah.
wow. And you're going too? Is it?
No. She's going out with whoever she chooses, and Gord himself.
And did you give away the fjord?
The fjord has been given away, and it was really cool because one of the winners helped out immensely, and we encouraged everybody that came to the booth to fill out a ballot. And Carrie, who was a huge help all weekend, directing people into the booth, out of the booth to fill out ballots, raffles, that she was actually one of the winners.
Wow.
That was really cool. And then Sal, who is a hoot, it's going to be an awesome party that's heading up there. And this guy, Matt, I don't know if you saw the live broadcast on Monday with Matt. He had no sound, and it was probably one of the most entertaining interviews we've done because he was holding up like written out pieces of paper, and it was really cool. But he seems like quite the character, so it's going to be an interesting trip. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Ron thinks, I'm assuming he's talking about us, that we're super entertaining. I appreciate that, Ron. Holy.
Absolutely.
Bunch of clowns up here. Hey, Scotty?
Yes, we are.
All
All that's missing are the noses and the big
Yep.
feet.
Yeah, I drive the car. It's out in the driveway. It's really hard in the snow. Hey, do you know I got hit by a smart car the other day on the way to work?
Doesn't sound so smart to me then.
Well, I had to go to the hospital and have it removed. So,
What is that?
there's the hook.
Exit.
For Adele's question, her first question was, what was her first apparel? And she tricked everybody because at 7 minutes in, she said the correct answer. And then at 12 minutes in, she said, my shirt was my first one. And I tried to correct it in the video. And then I corrected people's guesses. But that was her first shirt, and super nice hat, by the way, Scotty. And
Yep.
Don't think I didn't notice. So I just so you guys all know, it wasn't the shirt that was her first shirt, but her first product were the blue gloves, and Scotty wore them to catch plethora of fish, and
Oh, yeah.
to be lucky. So in the answer, I'm just going to put blue because I noticed when I'm looking through, people had gloves that are blue and different. So it won't be in order. So I'm just going to use the word blue, and I'm assuming anybody who said the word blue is going to be the right
Gives
one.
more chance.
So I'm going to ask for a technical drum roll here.
Oh, here it comes. That sounds like a toilet flushing. Oh. Wow.
Wow. So the first one, okay, Rob Alspach. She's got blue gloves in the answer. So Rob, how do you say his last name? Alspach?
Yeah.
Okay. Rob, congratulations. I believe you won a pair of gloves from Adele from Accessible Angling. And thank you, Adele, for coming on last week and telling us so much about your Wicked Foundation. And believe me, I've actually spoken to a bunch of people already, and I'm hoping to have this motion rolling for her better here by the time February rolls around. So I know she's not listening right now because she's not online, but she will eventually. But
she's very motivated, Scott, and she's on the brink of something really special. I mean, I call it Access Able because if you actually read it, that's how it reads. Access Able Angling.
Access Able.
She's on the cusp of something really cool. Yeah, and I think if the right boat company were to get involved with her, you're going to do some wonderful things because all she wants to do is make angling accessible to everyone, whether you're in a wheelchair or if you're in crutches. It doesn't matter. She wants to make angling accessible to everyone. Her heart is definitely in the right place, and she does a lot for people regardless of Access Able Angling. So it's nice to see her rewarded with the odd prize, the odd shout out, and of course a lot of promotion.
You probably recognize the name Amanda Avon. She has frequented my stream. She has started following you guys, and she's an excellent ambassador to fishing. She runs a company called Uber Fish, and she used to give away prize packs to unfortunate kids who were poor and they were all fishing so they could get started in fishing. And she did that on her own time. She's a professional writer, and she's also the one who just survived a big battle with cancer. And I spoke about her in one of my live shows, and God bless her. She is one of my very good friends, and she has agreed to write an article about Adele and accessible angling. And so over the next coming weeks, obviously Christmas, we're going to get some information, and then she's going to do her thing and get some information. And then we've already reached out to a few magazines to publish. So I'm hoping that we can do something really good for Adele.
As I said, she is on the cusp of something really great. And I'm really proud to have her as a CFNer and sharing all the content. I've had the privilege of meeting her, fishing with her, and she's a bundle of energy. She's a lot of fun to be around.
Yes, she sure is. Super nice lady. It was I don't know if you got a chance to catch on the interview, but I know you were wicked busy with all that stuff there, but it was a fantastic interview. And we were all close to tears. It was very heartwarming. So the next item, I believe she's giving away a bunny hug.
Yeah, baby.
So, and for those of you not from Saskatchewan, it's a toque. Yeah, I know we had that conversation. I'm like, what in the heck is a bunny hug? Because that didn't sound enjoyable unless it's illegal. I don't know. So I am going to put the answer Sask in because the question was, what is her hometown? Where is she from originally? And the answer is Saskatchewan. She is 100% a Flatlander. Sorry, Dal, still love you. And so I'm going to put this in the comments, Sask, and I am going to find my mouse, and I am going to draw. We need another drum roll.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. And Kelly's alarm.
Oh,
Kelly, wow.
Oh, wait. That's not the correct answer.
Uh-oh.
Sask Green. I'm going to have to find another comment.
uh
Or maybe I got to put all of Saskatchewan in there. Hold off.
oh.
I feel like the guy from what's his name who keeps drawing the wrong Miss America. Saskatchewan.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Only this time it wasn't his fault.
Miss Philippines.
Yeah, but that's what it said on the screen. He's like, "What are you guys doing to me?"
Yeah, it's Miss Yugoslavia. Yeah.
Ah, here we go. Oh no, that's only worms. We got to go down. Okay, so Rob Alspach put the answer Saskatchewan. Did he win again? No way.
Yeah, he won that. Yeah, that's twice.
So I guess she gets to ship them both to one address. Wow, Rob, you're on fire.
There you go.
Great. So that's one easy And sorry for the miss error, but yeah, I shouldn't have put Sask. I was afraid I couldn't spell it live while you guys were all watching me. So so they get a bunny hug. What do we got here? Gloves and a toque. So he's styling. That's pretty wicked. And so I think for the rest of the people who are, who her? Oh, I'm getting technical notes in Chicken Scratch, so I'm not following. So there's the logo over here, Hook Magazine. So I'm going to give away a subscription to this, and I talked about it on the show briefly. Don Lamont, who used to be the angler for the Complete Angler, he was the host. Did a fantastic show. I never miss it, or if I could, I would try not to. And so now he runs a magazine called Hook Magazine. You're probably familiar with these, Scotty?
Yes, absolutely.
You also missed that. He is agreed to be on the show shortly after Christmas.
Don Lamont?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Good guy, I know, right? I'm so excited because it's just like being in high school again, and these guys are on TV. And not that I'm saying that you're old, Don, because I'm sure we're the same age. We were both hanging on the same car shooting Tommy guns.
Yep.
So I was very excited to bring these people on, like Don Freshy and Dennis Isbister, and now Don Lamont. And I'm still trying to get Dave Mercer to come. And I know that people over where you live know him.
Yes.
And maybe Italo. Like, it's not like you guys don't work with him. I'd sure love to have him on the show. These are all people that I grew up with.
Yep.
They're the reason I do this.
Absolutely.
God bless you guys. Love you. Come on the show, please. I'm not going to beg. Please. Yeah, I'm begging. So he's offered up 5 subscriptions to Hook Magazine.
Wow.
And I'm going to draw them over the next, couple months or so. But tonight I'd like to, as a Christmas, and because we're doing so much drawing, I just feel like giving the microwave away. I'm going to ask a question. So, Scotty, what do you think? Should we ask something about Wolf Lake? For the people who are hanging on, these last 14 viewers are about to get the opportunity because they hung tough to win a subscription. So what did we talk about?
Well, who would be, if you want an easy one?
Sure. Yep.
Who's gonna be the deckhand that's gonna meet you at the dock?
Very good.
Is it the first
first person who answers
Who
right
answers.
now? Who's going to be the boat person, the deck guru, the deck hound, the master of deck ceremonies? That will be the answer. I don't know how else to explain it. The boathouse person. I'm just watching the comments here now, just waiting for it to come in. And so in the meantime, Scotty, from where do you go from here? Do you get a little bit of time off?
So yeah, you know what? I'd like to say that we are winding down for the Christmas holidays. It's time to take a bit of a breath for all of us. We have an interesting little contest that's going to be starting on the 24th, running to the 26th. It's going to be basically anything to do with angling, as long as there's a Christmas theme. So if you are one that puts all your fishing rods in the shape of a Christmas tree, we're going to want that picture. The prize has been donated by the Great Canadian Smoothie Company and my good friend Donald Stokes. We're going to be running that, as I said, starting on the 24th. Then we take a bit of a break and collect, our thoughts and get ready for 2020.
Man,
If you
2020.
If you think 2019 was great,
Or
wait,
busy.
yeah, wait till you see 2020, baby.
I
She's good.
have some things in the pipe that I will be talking about in January that have me awake at night. I'm a little giddy, and I can't even share them with you yet, Scotty. But it will happen, and you'll be involved, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. So I've got a few answers that have popped up, and nobody's actually got it right based on spelling-ish. So
Tony's half right.
yeah, and then there's Steve said Dylan, and then Barry said Dylan.
Yes.
And every one of them is so close.
And Tony's 100% right. It was his son who was a guest tonight.
Yeah, it was his son. I think we're gonna have to give that to Tony. That was as close as gonna get. It's actually Denton, I believe,
Yes, Denton is his name.
and I'm not sure how to spell it, so I would have given it to anybody who tried. Denton, like Dentine, Denton. I'm not sure the spelling. I've never seen the actual name before. I don't think.
Yeah.
Denton,
You know, a big
D-I-N.
shout out to Tony, because I know you have it in your notifications. I'm not sure where Tony finds all of these giveaways, but
Oh my goodness. Do I
crap.
have them in my notification? I can't get anywhere without winning something nowadays. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Tony for all those tags on that. That's really something. Hopefully you get the benefit and win some of those prizes that you tag us for.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tony. But from now on, only tag me in the ones that I'm going to win, okay? Because it's Scotty can have the rest.
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of that, they gave away the Panoptix Live Scope about an hour ago, and I have not been notified, so I don't know who it was, but it was not me.
Oh,
Wow.
you have an email.
Oh, if he won it, he's out of here. Denton. Well, you guys are close. Yeah, I know, Barry. That's spelling. I don't even know how to spell it. So hey, you could be 100% right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about all I can give away without giving away the shirt off my back, which has been asked about 100 times. But I'm gonna see if I can find out where these are available because they are sweet shirts. But no, you cannot have mine. Just so we're clear, this one is on my back. And I love you guys to death, but this is the one shirt that would not. I think I'd rather you freeze than take my shirt. I would be very consolidating while you were freezing, but I'm not giving you my shirt.
So there's that.
So
Right on.
okay, Scotty. So are we going to reconvene like on the 7th for this? Is that the?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Might as well hit the ground running in 2020. As I said, you need a break to take a breath. I know I do the same, and I'm looking forward to it. In saying so, I will wish you and yours, as well as Dwayne and his family, a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, brother. You too.
I tell you, thanks for all you guys do out there on the West Coast and Realistic Outdoors. And, of course, you yourself, Scott, you're a true ambassador for CFN and your fishery, and keep up the good work, buddy.
Thank you, and you too. And I will be doing lots of fishing in this next 2 weeks. However, I will be doing some fly tying for you guys that are hanging out. Joel and I will probably just kick it one evening or two and just do a quick fly tie. So I will let you guys know about that, and I'll broadcast it because everybody loves watching that technical twist that he does, which is quite lovely. And by the way, the flies that have arrived, people were just outstanded by those prizes. So thanks again to Joel Roy from Why We're in King Fly Shop for giving those out. Amazing. And all you guys at home watching, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. And we will see you soon. And I hope to see some of your pictures of fish. And we're going to do some more townhouse meetings with the Wolf Lake Lodge so you guys can get some comments in there. And to you and your family, Scotty.
Bye, Scotty.
Yeah, baby.
Bye, buddy.
Take
All
care.
the best, guys.
All the best to you guys.
Peace.
Peace. So on that, guys, we are not going to be back regular show until the 7th. And we will see you then. But feel free, if you have any questions or comments, to certainly leave them below or in any of my media sources, because I'll be happy to answer them for you. So on that note, you guys take care. God bless. Good night for now. So much for a smooth out there, eh?
No, it looks as if you're still alive, my friend.
I am.
Yeah.